Jesus answered, "You say that I am a king. For this I was born, and for this I have come into the world, to bear witness to the truth. Everyone who is of the truth hears my voice." Pilate said to him, "What is truth?" To some people, truth doesn't exist in any objective sense at all. It is something created rather than discovered. Truth is seen as specific to a culture. And such people may view any system or statement that tries to communicate truth as playing with power, an effort to dominate other cultures. If such a view were true, we might expect the dialogue between Pilate and Jesus to be rather different. Pilate represents a foreign power and is trying to impose his ideals on the Jewish people. So we might expect him to come out with very direct statements in an effort to stamp Roman authority on the situation. And similarly, we might expect Jesus to stand up to this foreign power by expressing a deep skepticism for everything Pilate stands for. However, this is not what the encounter between Pilate and Jesus is like. Pilate is the one who is deeply skeptical. He asks what is truth, but he doesn't wait for an answer. Yet Pilate's agnosticism towards truth doesn't seem to be an obstacle to him imposing Roman dominance on the Jews. When Pilate asks the Jews, "Shall I crucify your king?" he gets them to respond by saying, "We have no king but Caesar." What they should have been saying was, "We have no king but the Lord." But Pilate succeeds in getting the Jews to betray the Torah and their very identity. On the other hand, Jesus, who is a man in a very vulnerable position, a man who is about to be put to death, is putting himself forward as the champion of truth. He communicates truth not by trying to seek power and dominate others, but by shedding his blood, by giving his life for us. Everyone who is of the truth hears his voice. His voice can transcend any cultural barrier. If truth really was entirely relative to each culture, then such communication across cultural barriers would be impossible, and truth would have to be something that was imposed by the powerful on the weak. But the fact that humiliation, torture, and death have no power to suppress Jesus' voice means that truth cannot just be some cultural construct. Truth corresponds to something real. It is something that can unite the whole of humanity, however varied the different cultural backgrounds may be. The truth is that Christ is King, and we must never let go of this fact. Sadly, we sometimes do not cling to this belief as firmly as we might. Every time we lie, every time we present a false image of ourselves to the world, we stop listening to Christ. We stop believing in the truth. As Christians, our mission is not to perpetuate our own voices, but to unite our voices with the voice of Christ. Because Christ is King, his voice being heard doesn't depend on us pretending that we are without fault. Anyone who loves the truth will hear his voice. Now the Church may be facing difficult times ahead due to the deep hurt that has been caused by the scandals and cover-ups in recent years. We shouldn't try to shrink away from the humiliation we face, but rather see in it an opportunity for cleansing, a chance to renew our faith in God's power to purify us. When we meet with skepticism and with hostility, we shouldn't be trying to score cheap points. We should follow the example that Jesus gives. When asked, "What is truth?" he doesn't give a nice, neat answer. He doesn't glibly say, "Truth is the conformity of intellect and thing." But he shows us what truth is by dying on the cross. So when people ask us, "What is truth?" our answer should be seen in the way we conform our lives to Christ. Christ who said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life."